Hello and welcome to the Educational Websites Analysis and Critique. My name is William Glick. This is to satisfy a course requirement for EDUC 639 with Liberty University. So today, what are we going to be doing today? So we'll talk about what makes a good blog, and we'll look at what makes a good blog through the example of 3 sites. So we'll talk about the Innovative Educator and her site, which is a personal blog. Then we'll also talk about the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Educational Technology blog. And then we'll also talk about the applied educational systems that companies, that blog that they provide. And then we'll wrap up with lessons learned and we'll take a look at the references. So what makes a good blog? So after conducting some research, looking at best practices for blogs, educational websites in particular, they're informative. They serve a purpose. There is a structure across all the different blog posts. They're catchy and interesting. A lot of people want to follow things that are catchy and interesting. They're looking for websites outside of academic sources because they want something maybe a little bit more engaging or personal. Being non-biased is also a good quality of a educational technology blog. They're not explicitly trying to endorse or sell any products. Maybe they discuss them, maybe they do endorse them, but that's not the point of the blog because that can be kind of distracting. It explores concepts. It attempts to explore new concepts, old concepts, and in a personable manner. So people want to get to know the person behind the blog through the blog post. And they're also concise. There's a lot of long blogs out there. It's like, oh man, it is too long. So definitely important to keep it concise, to keep the reader and the subscriber engaged. So considering those best practices, the first blog that we're going to take a look at is called The Innovative Educator. This is probably one of the most popular blogs right now on the internet, and it's hosted by Lisa Nielsen, who's a professional educational technologist, a former librarian. This blog has been running on Blogger since 2008. And what's great about this blog is it's strong, non-biased content. She talks about certain products but doesn't specifically endorse them. Doesn't seem canned. It seems personable. She provides a lot of engaging, thought-provoking content, maybe some things that instructors or instructional leaders have not thought of in the past. There's consistent threading throughout, so everything kind of ties together, builds on the next post, but you can essentially read any post and still be plugged in and have an idea of what's going on. The downside with this blog, though, is there's a few off-topic blog posts. So when I was going through their blog here, I found a couple of blogs about recipes and what to eat and what not to eat, which was definitely off the topic, which that can be kind of off-putting for some people that are looking for professional blog content or something to provide in their professional life. The next blog is a public blog. So the U.S. Department of Education is a cabinet-level agency, and their Office of Educational Technology puts forward a blog. This is an official, non-biased government website blog, so you won't find any endorsement for any products on here. They do talk about different products, but they don't explicitly endorse them. It's a very, very thorough blog, comprehensive coverage of topics. It's an excellent categorization of topics, and it's very user-friendly to click around on the site and see what they have to offer. However, the blogs can be a little lengthy. The blog posts can be a little lengthy with the U.S. Department of Education's EdTech blog. There's really no personal touch to these blogs. They seem kind of cold and calculating. And there's not really any hooks. It kind of just gets right out in front and tells you what's going on with the topic. And since there's somebody's got to be writing these, but every blog says U.S. Department of Education. So there's really no personal thread or story to kind of follow along, no kind of subplot in these blogs. That is one of the downsides. However, is a very trustworthy official source blog that can definitely be used in a professional setting and is a good model for blogs. And finally, the last one that we're going to look at today. So Applied Educational Systems, or AES, they are a private company based in Pennsylvania, and they offer consulting and educational services. So this is a private company that has a blog. They have a very personable flair to these blogs. They have a variety of subject matter experts that appear in the blogs to discuss, from writers to educators to educational technologists, very diverse topics on curriculum, training, and evaluation, And they also talk about the digital citizen. So just about every blog post is focused around digital citizenship for students, for instructors, and what that means as we move into the second decade of the 20th century. Very strongly grounded in educational technology principles, which are found in the text for EDUC 639 and other courses for this program. However, this is a product-based blog, so they endorse their products through the blog, and sometimes they endorse products of other companies. There's many advertisements on the site, and it's hard to differentiate what is this blog supposed to be sponsoring or endorsing something, or is it actually talking about principles of educational technology, which can be kind of distracting to the reader. Very strong blog. However, there's some definite downsides to this blog. It seems kind of canned. And finally, what did we do today? So we talked about blog best practices. So we captured this through 3 blogs. We talked about AES's blog, which is a blog for a private company that sells products. Very structured, very subject matter expert oriented, but they're endorsing a product, and they're a company that runs this blog essentially for promotional purposes. The U.S. Department of Education's blog on educational technology, very thorough, definitely a government-flavored website. However, it is not necessarily the most engaging blog out there. And finally, we talked about the Innovative Educator, which is Lisa Nielsen's blog, which very personable, very thorough, very much based in educational technology principles. However, can stray a little off topic sometimes, which can be off-putting perhaps to some people conducting research, and they may be leery to include the best practices put forward because of that. But all in all, that is definitely the most robust, well-balanced blog that I have looked at beyond the 3 blogs that we talked about today. And I highly recommend you checking out her website. In lessons learned, we talked about the best practices of the blogs and educational technology websites, what to look for, what to avoid. And finally, what lessons do we learn today? So it's definitely important to consider these lessons as you move forward in developing a blog or evaluating a blog, or if you're looking to create a non-blog educational technology website. This is a very, very concise overview. However, it provides a foundation for us to evaluate moving forward. And here's some references. You can take a look at the 3 blogs that we evaluated. The Innovative Educator, especially, great blog, also talks about her influences and those that she has influenced, and contains links to many other blogs that are also very robust. The U.S. Department of Education's blog, I highly encourage you to check that one out as well. An excellent blog. Well, thank you. This concludes the presentation assignment for EDUC 639 for a review of educational technology.